everybody, Fenwick Pro Noah Humfeld here today to teach you how to make your own walleye crawler harnesses. Crawler harnesses are an awesome way of catching summertime walleye as they incorporate the use of a spinner blade which gives off a lot of flash and vibration to draw fish in from a long ways away, while also incorporating the use of live bait which gives off a lot of action and a lot of scent in the water. Crawler harnesses consist of a few main components. First, a fluorocarbon leader, 2 hooks, plastic beads, a clevis, and a spinner blade. As far as hooks go, I like to use a wide gap, short shanked octopus hook such as these right here. I like to use a larger hook such as a size 2, like this one, as my front hook, and a smaller hook such as a size 4 for my back hook. For beads, I like to use plastic beads, the kind that you find at a hobby shop. Now, most beads will work just fine, but the ones that I really like to use are the kind like this with the holographic finish to them, which give off a lot more flash in the water. Next comes a blade. There's lots of different styles of blades on the market and lots of different patterns, but most all of them will work. The most common blade used for crawler harnesses is a Colorado blade, such as these. To attach it to your line, you use a clevis. There's a few different types of clevises on the market, such as the traditional metal folded clevis, or these cool plastic quick change clevises, which allow you to switch blades on the go if you need to change your pattern in a hurry. For leader material, I like to use a fluorocarbon line because it's very clear underwater and it's very strong. I also like using it because it's so clear that I can get away with using a heavier pound test to make my rigs a lot more durable. My personal preference for leader material is the Berkley 100% professional grade fluorocarbon in the 17-pound test. To start constructing your crawler harness, we're going to start by making our leader. To do this, take an arm span's worth of line, which is about 4 to 5 feet depending on how long your arms are. To begin our rig, we're going to start by attaching our hooks to our leader. To do this, we're going to use what's called a snell knot. And I've seen a lot of different versions of a snell knot, but the one I'm going to show you works the best for me. To begin, we're going to start with our back hook. Simply take one end of your leader material and pass it through the hook eye. Hold the tag end of it tight up against the shank of the hook. Now we're going to take the other end and we're going to wrap it back over the eye of the hook. Now we're going to make 8 wraps just like that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wraps. Now we're going to take the other end of our leader and we're going to pass it back through the hook eye in the opposite direction. All that's left to do now is to pull it tight, snug these line loops up against the eye of the hook, snug it up, and that's it. Your hook is snelled. To add the second hook is very simple. Just take your front hook, this larger hook here, pass the line through the eye and bring it down to the first hook. You want to leave about a 3-inch gap in between the hooks so there's enough gap that you can hook the front of the crawler to this big hook and have the second hook hanging down a little ways past the halfway point of the crawler. To attach this, simply do the same thing as before. Hold the line tight up against the hook shank and wrap back behind the eye and make 8 wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then find the other far end of the leader, pass it back through the hook eye, and pull it tight. Now our snell rig is completed, and now we can add the rest of the components. The next step is to add your beads to your crawler harness. I went ahead and already added the beads to this one, and I used pink and white to match my blade that I'm going to be using. This is a pink tizzy pattern, and as you can see, there's pink and white accents. Typically, I like my blades to match my bead pattern. I also went ahead and added a darker color bead, this black one, at the front of my beads to act as an eye spot and to help attract fish. The next step is to add our blade to our assembly. To do this, simply take your clevis, place it through the hole at the top of the blade, and then slide it onto our leader. With that, our harness is just about done. All that's left to do is to tie a loop at the end of our leader for an attachment point to our main trolling line. To now finish our rig, we're going to add a loop to the end of our leader material. To do this is very simple. Simply take the far end of our leader material and double it over itself. Now all we're going to do is tie a simple overhand knot in the fluorocarbon and pull it tight. All that's left to do now is to trim off the excess fluorocarbon, and we have a nice little loop here at the end of our rig to attach to our swivel or our snap, which is then connected to our main trolling line. As you can see, making your own crawler harnesses is a really easy and actually a very fun way of spending time off the water. With a little bit of patience and a little bit of imagination, you can come up with all sorts of different color patterns that'll catch a lot of fish. Until next time, I'm Noah Humfeld. We'll see you on the water.